How powerful can a plan truly be? A plan can literally mean the difference between life and death sometimes. So with that being said, what are you doing right now that makes sure your kid's future is planned out? Because that's extremely important. So welcome back, Preneurs. I'm excited about this conversation because if you have children or no children yet, but you plan on having children, having a plan is everything to make sure they have their highest probability to be successful. Let's look at some examples. Like King Richard, they put a movie together right now, it's on HBO Max, that literally talks about Mr. Williams, which is Serena and Venus's father, that actually had a plan together to make sure they were the best to ever pick up a racket in the golf realm. If you look at what happened with Tiger Woods dad had a plan for his son since the age of 2 years old to be the best, debatably golfer ever to pick up a club, but he had a plan for that. If you even look at the Ball brothers, he has 2 sons out of 3 that are in the NBA right now. He had a plan for that. So let's talk about make sure that you can have a plan as well. These are 4 things I want you to be thinking about so that you can inject in your children, unborn or born, so they can have the highest probability for success. Again, number 1 I want you to be thinking about is skills. What type of skills do you want to develop in them? Okay, maybe it's basketball. You got to develop major skills, dribbling, passing, shooting. If it's golf, make sure they can hold the club the right way. Make sure they can know how to putt on the greens before they start getting out to driving and everything else. There's those skills. You start talking about anything else. What are skills you need to put in? It could be a sport or even other things in business that you want to inject in your children. Number 2, I want you to think about is belief systems. What type of philosophies, what type of belief that you want into them, what type of confidence you want to have into them. That comes with affirmations. That comes with knowing who you are, your self-identity, the love that you need to give to your children so they have belief systems in them. That's number 2. Number 3, I want you to start thinking about injecting in your kids is principles and values. Okay, so what type of principles and values? What type of character traits you're going to inject in them as well? What happens when people are not looking? How do they act? What type of integrity will they have? Those are the different things you definitely need to talk about, especially what's going on in today's world. And number 4 is competitive advantage. What competitive advantage do you have as a parent that you can inject to your children? What type of backgrounds, what type of mistakes, what type of lessons you've learned that you can inject in your children that they don't even have to go through themselves because they can learn through your wisdom? Like for me, I played basketball. I learned so much through basketball. I learned so much through business that I can inject certain things. I have a competitive advantage I can inject in my kids where they don't have to go through those experiences yet because they can learn from my mistakes and I can inject that into them effectively. What can you do to be able to do that too with your children? Because at the end of the day, you have to really think about it. When you start talking to your kids and you want to position them for the highest probability of success, either you're looking for them to be the first of something in the family or to be the greatest in something in the family. When I say first, maybe you want to be the first generation millionaire. Maybe you want to be the first to ever make 6 figures. Maybe you want to be the first to ever graduate college. Maybe you want to be the first to ever start a business. That might be some firsts in your family are not done yet. Maybe they want to take up that hold to become the first. Maybe they want to become the greatest to ever run a business in a certain industry. Maybe they want to be the greatest to ever play a sport. Maybe they want to be the greatest in whatever realm they want to choose into. So either first or the greatest. You have to decide with you and your child, what do you want that to be? Maybe you have a plan for them already in that. And to really become the first or the greatest in any industry, sport, or whatever your mindset is for your child, or your child is deciding whatever they're going to step into, it all comes down to habits and disciplines. And one of the biggest things, if you're that parent right now, is what type of disciplines do you have? What type of habits are you currently having? So you can inject that example into your children. Okay, so let's start and think about it. What are some big distractions that can really be taking away from the habits that can make you and your family successful? Maybe it's Netflix. What can you replace that habit with? Maybe it's a book or an audio. Maybe it's fast food. Fast food sometimes can make you sluggish, and things along those lines. What can you replace that with? Maybe meal prep. Another one could be toxic friends or associations and knowing who to cut out that it is not in for your productivity of your life and who to keep around that's going to tell you the truth that helps you grow. I know Drake just put out a song not too long ago, the rapper Drake, saying that, it's a fair trade. I'm having peace because I'd eliminate some friends. Maybe that needs to happen for yourself. Maybe you need to have more exercise than just TV. Maybe another one is complaining and start making a list of all the things that you've been blessed with in this life already so you can have more gratitude. Maybe another habit is overthinking, paralysis of analysis, and actually taking more action. How about one of my biggest ones is blaming, right? And saying, you know what, this is my responsibility. I take ownership of what's currently happening in my life. These are habits, again, that can be the death of you if you don't start thinking about them, getting ahead of it, because that can affect you as the one coaching your kids, and also your kids as they implement whatever you're teaching them as they step in becoming the first or the greatest or whatever industry or sport they decide to go into. So with that being said, Preneurs, that will end today's video. Hopefully this helped you in regards to making a plan for your born children or your unborn children. Also helping you with different habits as well to be able to make sure that you're coaching them and developing to the highest probability of success. Go ahead and like and share and comment. Go ahead and share this with some other parents as well. And also go ahead and click that notification button if you haven't, so you can get all the updates when the next video comes out. We'll see you on the next one.